Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a really clean Christmas card to share with you using the amazing Merry Days by Pinkfresh Studio. So first of all, I've die cut some basic rectangles out of Strathmore Bristol Smooth, and now I am placing this die for the Merry Days inside of my panel. Now, as you can see, you cannot look through the die, so I thought that it was a better idea to first cut everything out and then stamp out the images. So here you can see the cutout image, and there are a lot of little things going on. So what I'm doing is placing everything down again and taking some purple tape to keep everything in place on the back. And once there is purple tape, I can add all those little elements that are stuck on my plates, and then I can continue with the rest. As my purple tape is also passing the tree itself, I am also going to add the rest of the panel on top of this, and that will also help me when I'm putting it in my Misty. So now everything is in place. Time to add this frame or my panel that is left over, and then I can stamp out this amazingly cute stamp set. So this one is from Pinkfresh Studio, and I don't know if I mentioned it, I don't have a lot of it because I couldn't get my hands on it before, but now my craft store, being cardnouveau.be, is also getting some elements from Pinkfresh Studio, and I just adore it. So I'm trying to build up my supplies by Pinkfresh Studio because they are so gorgeous and I just adore their products. They are so elegant, the quality is perfect, and I just think they are really different from what's out there, but they are different in a gorgeous way. So because these elements are so tiny and elegant, I immediately thought of doing some noline coloring. So here you have seen me stamp everything out using antique linen, and now I'm going to use some really soft colors to color everything in. As you know me, with noline coloring and distress inks, I prefer taking a lot of the paint or the inks that I smooshed down, go to my image, add the ink, and then I come back with a damp paintbrush to drag that color all over the image, and that's how I build up my images. For this card, I'm not going to add a lot of layers because I really want to keep it simple and elegant, but the more layers you add, the more depth and shadow you can create this way, and I just really adore it. So for the coloring, I decided to start as much on the top as possible because of course then you can smear less. If you work your way down and from left to right, if you're right-handed like me, otherwise the other way around is better. But that's what I'm doing, and I really enjoyed creating this. I first thought that I wouldn't show it on YouTube because you are used to other things of me, but then again I'm really trying to get my hands on this brand, so more will follow definitely, and I just thought, why not? I also shared one that I colored without filming on Instagram, and I had a lot of wonderful reactions, also by some of you that are active on my YouTube channel. So thank you for that, and that also encouraged me to just show you how I did this. It wasn't really hard, so if you have something like this, you can definitely try it out. Also, the ones that I'm coloring right now, they are actually solid, but because I stamped it out with the antique linen, I just thought that I would go over it really quickly, and then it also had some color. Now that everything is colored in, I'm going to remove the purple tape, and I'm also going to poke out all the images that are colored in. There are different ways that you can create your card. I'm keeping it simple with leaving everything white, but to just give it something more, I'm going to add a bit of dimension to this card. So first of all, I am going to adhere this to my card base. I don't know how I can call this. Is this a panel or is this a frame? Because there is like the tree missing, don't know. So I'm temporarily adding this tree, I'm going to inlay it, and that will help me to inlay all the other elements. So I'm using some liquid glue, and the smallest tip that I currently have is the one from Gina Design. I adore this glue, it's really handy. And now I am taking my embellishment wand to help me get everything in place. And I must admit, this part was actually really therapeutic. I just love it when you can just add everything and it fits perfectly, it's perfectly placed, and it's just, I love it. So I did that, and then when that's done, I'm going to peel off that tree that I have added with some temporarily adhesive. That's not necessary to do the inlay, but since I bought it, I prefer using it because sometimes I have my frames that I'm using, and I just shift them a little bit, slightly, and I just don't realize it until I have to add the frame itself, or in this case the tree. So I just thought, let's be sure and just add a bit of temporary adhesive, but it's not necessary. If you don't have it, I have made card for 2 years without having that, so just in case. And then once everything is in there, I'm peeling it off really slowly. There will shift a few items because I just adhered them with some liquid glue, but I fixed that. And then I'm taking some thin foam squares by Scrapbook Adhesives, and I'm just going to cover that tree on the back completely so that I can have a little bit of dimension on this card. So now it's time to add a sentiment, and there are so many gorgeous sentiments inside of this stamp set, and the script is just so elegant. It's amazing. For this card I'm using Wishing You Merry Days, and I'm going to stamp it out doing some heat embossing onto black cardstock. This black is from Concord and 9th, and I'm going to use my Ranger embossing powder white super fine detail. I'm stamping it out twice. It was in case that one of them just didn't work out, but then they both turned out really well, so I decided to add my second sentiment to my colored panel that I did before I filmed this one. So I actually have two cards like this ready to go for Christmas. So I'm adding the embossing powder and making sure that the excess is removed, and then I will take the Mama Elephant sentiment strips to cut these out. I'm really bad with a trimmer. I know they help you and you can get some perfect cut out strips, but it doesn't work for me. It's always crooked. I don't know why, but I prefer using sentiment strips. So I'm going to add both on my two cards that I have prepared now, and I will use some thin black foam squares on the two sides and then some permanent Pritt adhesive roller in the middle to help it with exactly the same height as the rest of the cards. And then this one will be finished. I am not adding anything more because this brand is elegant on its own, and I just think it's amazingly cute and just gorgeous like this. I don't think anything else is needed. So I hope you don't think it either, because these are my cards. I want to thank you all for stopping by and watching this video, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Just leave a comment down below. For the supplies, you can check out the description box as well as my blog, and I hope that I will see you soon. Bye!